When people say Africa had no history, what they really mean is that Africa's history was erased. Today, you'll see civilizations that were powerful, organized, and deliberately ignored. Forget what you think lost means. These empires weren't just forgotten. Their legacies were actively buried. Let's start with Great Zimbabwe. We're not talking about small huts. We're talking about a massive stone city that flourished for centuries. Its walls were built without any mortar. A feat of engineering so advanced that early European explorers refused to believe Africans could have built it. They constructed elaborate theories about ancient Phoenicians or the Queen of Sheba. Anything to avoid giving credit where it was due. This city was the heart of a vast trade network, rich in gold and ivory, connecting southern Africa to China and Persia. Its decline wasn't due to collapse, but a shift in trade routes, leaving a magnificent ghost city behind. Next, let's go even further back to the Nok civilization in what is now Nigeria. Flourishing over 2,500 years ago, the Nok weren't just skilled artists who created some of the oldest terracotta sculptures in sub-Saharan Africa. They were pioneers of iron technology. While many parts of the world were still in the Bronze Age, the Nok were smelting iron in advanced furnaces, creating tools and weapons that transformed their society. This wasn't primitive tech, it was a technological leap that happened independently in West Africa. A fact often overlooked in world history books that center the Iron Age firmly in Europe and the Middle East. Now, let's talk about a global superpower, the Aksumite Empire, located in modern-day Ethiopia and Eritrea. Aksum was a major player on the world stage, trading with Rome, Persia, and India. Its ports were bustling hubs of commerce, and its currency was used across international trade routes. The rulers of Aksum erected enormous granite obelisks, or stelae, some of which were the largest single pieces of stone ever quarried in the ancient world. They even adopted Christianity as their state religion in the 4th century, making it one of the first Christian kingdoms on earth. So why don't we hear about Aksum alongside Rome and Persia? Because its story didn't fit the colonial narrative of an undeveloped Africa. We can't ignore the sheer scale and intellectual power of the Songhai Empire in West Africa. Its peak in the 16th century, it was one of the largest states in African history, bigger than Western Europe at the time. Its capital, Gao, and the intellectual center of Timbuktu were home to world-renowned universities. Scholars from all over the Islamic world flocked to Timbuktu to study mathematics, astronomy, law, and philosophy. The city's libraries held hundreds of thousands of manuscripts, a treasure trove of knowledge that challenged the idea of Europe as the sole center of learning. So why were these incredible histories erased? It comes down to a simple, powerful motive: justification, to justify the transatlantic slave trade and colonization. European powers needed to paint Africa as a dark continent without history, culture, or civilization. By dismissing Great Zimbabwe's architects, ignoring Nok's innovators, and downplaying Aksum's global reach, they created a false narrative of a continent waiting to be civilized. This wasn't a simple oversight. It was a deliberate campaign to rewrite history, but history can't be erased forever. By learning and sharing these stories, we reclaim a truth that was stolen. The story of humanity is incomplete without Africa's contributions, so let's keep digging, keep sharing, and keep correcting the record. Thanks for watching.